It's one of the world's most enduring mysteries that has lasted for the last 3 centuries and been charged with the disappearance of more than 2,000 sea vessels and 200 airplanes. The Bermuda Triangle, which spans from Bermuda to Puerto Rico and over to the Miami-Fort Lauderdale coast, comprises 500,000 square miles of infamous seas. Inquisitive minds have questioned whether the supernatural or actual science is to blame for all the area's mysteries. Legends has it that the first recorded mysterious encounter in this area was made by no other than Christopher Columbus on his trip to discover America. After that, uncommon amounts of disappearances took place in the Bermuda Triangle. Hundreds of ships and airplanes disappeared with no trace. Welcome back to our channel. In today's video we're gonna list our top picks for the most mysterious disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle. On March 4, 1918, the USS Cyclops, the Navy's biggest carrier, disappeared somewhere near the Barbados. The USS Cyclops was a massive carrier ship that supplied fuel to the American fleet in World War I. The ship was set to sail under the command of Lieutenant Commander Worley, heading towards Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. On the way back, the ship had 309 passengers on board. They had to stop in Barbados to load up more cargo. Unfortunately, the ship never arrived. Despite extensive searches, no trace of the ship, the passengers or the crew were ever found. The weird part is that the captain never sent out a distress signal. And nobody aboard answered radio calls. Many theories came about the ship's disappearance. Some suggested that the captain conspired with the Germans to destroy the ship. Others say that the ship was way overloaded, but at the end no one ever found any trace of the ship, and the truth died with it. On December 2, 1967, a 23-foot cabin cruiser named Witchcraft, which was made to be unsinkable, disappeared along with its 2 passengers Dan Burak and his father. The boat left from Miami that evening. And not long after leaving, the Coast Guard received a call from Burak. He seemed quite calm. He said that they hit something, but the boat didn't get substantial damage. He still requested a Coast Guard to help tow him back to shore. The Coast Guard was sent in under 20 minutes, but there was no trace of the Witchcraft. The cabin cruiser and its owners were never seen again. The odd thing is that the Witchcraft had a flotation device built in it, and if it drowned, there would have been some sign of it. Not to mention that Burak was an experienced sailor. The Coast Guard searched 24,000 square miles of water, but nothing was found. People still ask the question. How come the large amount of flotation devices on board such as life jackets and lifeboats just disappear? The official statement from the Coast Guard says presumed missing. Moving to number 3. The disappearance of Flight 19 still remains one of the most mysterious aircraft disappearances ever recorded in history. On December 5, 1945, 5 military bombers departed from a Navy airport in Florida, roughly around 2 p.m. The trip was a routine training mission. Officials state that the planes were checked before the mission, and the weather was supposed to be favorable. The bombers were known for their durability, rugged design, and their propensity for holding up in battles. They were considered the safest and most efficient U.S. Navy planes for destroying enemy submarines. The 5 TBM Avenger airplanes carried 14 men led by Instructor Lieutenant Charles Taylor. Shortly after completing their training mission, Lieutenant Taylor got lost in the area known as the Bermuda Triangle. The compasses were malfunctioning. Taylor contacted the control tower and he sounded worried and confused.
We can't make out anything. We think we may be about 225 miles northeast of base. It looks like we're entering white water. We're completely lost. We can't find west. Everything is wrong. We can't be sure of any direction. Everything looks strange. Even the ocean.
Later, the control center had managed to trace Flight 19 on its radar. The planes were hopelessly off course. It was getting dark and the weather had worsened. 2 Martin Marina planes were sent out to search for the missing Avengers. Only one of the Martin Marinas returned, the other mysteriously disappeared too. Nearby tanker reported flames for an apparent explosion, which was later believed to be that of the Marina rescue plane. Its explosion remains another mystery. Throughout the next 5 days 500,000 square miles of the Atlantic was searched, but no trace was ever found. The official Navy report had labeled the cause of this accident as reasons unknown. And what exactly happened to Flight 19 and the Martin Marina remains a mystery till today. Number 2. Frank and Romina Leon. Newlywed couple Frank and Romina decided to go fishing on their new boat on June 18, 2003. The Leons left Boynton Beach, Florida in a 16-foot boat. It was Romina's first fishing trip with her new husband. The young couple failed to show up for work the following day. Coworkers raised the alarm and friends and family feared the worst. The Coast Guard launched the rescue mission early Friday morning, which covered over 36,000 square miles of the ocean, but they were never found. Their phones were left at their home, so they had no means of communication, and some suggest that the couple were novice to sailing. But taking into account all the incidents that happened in the Bermuda Triangle, was this their fault or were they another victim of the Bermuda Triangle? Number 1. Well, this one is a bit different. In fact, this pilot didn't go missing. He survived the Bermuda Triangle and wrote a book about his experience. Bruce was a keen pilot. In his early 20s, he had over 600 miles of flying time and considered himself to be very familiar with Florida and the Bahamas airspace. In his book, he claims that he flew into an electronic fog storm. He said once we got pulled to the fog, everything became dark, the plane's instruments were malfunctioning. The wet compass was spinning slowly, counterclockwise all by itself. There were bright white flashing lights, and the deeper they flew into the cloud, the more intense the light became. And all attempts to fly out of this mysterious cloud proved futile. It took him 10 minutes to break free, but they were surprised that they have reached their destination. For him, this seemed impossible because the location where he got pulled to the fog was at least 40 minutes away from the shore. Bruce believes the plane must have passed through some kind of time warp as they had been pushed 30 minutes. What pulled him into the fog was the same force that swallowed others into the Bermuda Triangle's black hole, and he thinks he was just lucky to get out. Now, given all these incidents, it is on you to decide whether it is a supernatural or natural power in the Bermuda Triangle. Thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed. See you in another video.